Today's the day. Today is the Leechburg Towpath link up. And thankfully the rain already moved through the area. It's going to be overcast and dreary, but at least it'll be dry. It's a beautiful view of the Veterans Bridge that spans the Kiski River. And I am in downtown Leechburg. And if you have extra time, be sure to check out the Hyde Park walking bridge. And be sure to check out my video on the Hyde Park walking bridge. Everything is blooming, everything looks so pretty. And the Kiski River is really flowing.
It's surprisingly drier than you think. We got a lot of rain. The trail is amazing.
Oh, I know. I mean, she was here. Yeah, I want to know. What did you do here?
Good morning.
And Leechburg Riverfront Park is right behind Sprinkles. And I work at the Saxonburg store, and there are 3 stores: Katanning, Leechburg, and Saxonburg.
Coffee with our kayak group every Sunday morning down in Leechburg. It's just a social kayak.
Thank you for being here today. It's great to be standing together on the Leechburg Towpath for a joint celebration with Leechburg Area Development Corporation, Allegheny Ridge Corporation, and Leechburg Borough Council, celebrating progress, connection, and power in partnership. We are proud to share this day with you, 5 newly developed trail miles. The Leechburg Towpath is a safe, accessible, and beautiful space for folks to walk, bike, run, or just breathe a little deeper in nature and a step closer to our vision of connecting people and places. We're going to start with Commissioner Anthony Shea. Come on up. Yeah. We're winging it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. It's very nice to be here. My name is Nathan Rigner. I'm the Director of the Office of Outdoor Recreation for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, brought to you by the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. I'm really happy to be here to help celebrate the formal opening of this, this trail extension. Office of Outdoor Recreation, what's our responsibility and why are we here? It's easy. We usually think of outdoor recreation as a good time outside with our family and friends. Maybe on a Saturday morning taking a bike ride on a trail. Outdoor recreation is that. Outdoor recreation is also an industry in Pennsylvania. $19 billion, 168,000 jobs, 2% of our gross domestic productivity in the Commonwealth. And it's a strategic tool for community and economic development. It was just a couple of months ago in an interview with the Tribune Democrat, unprompted, Governor Shapiro, for whom we work, Governor Shapiro used a phrase that I'm going to try and paraphrase here. He said the best way to fill businesses in on main streets is to develop outdoor recreation. We're seeing an incredible return on investment in that here in the Commonwealth, and we will continue to make those investments. And that statement, the linking of the trail and what it does, bringing visitors here, giving our youth activities to engage in, helping to recruit and retain employees. This, I think, is the real benefit that trails create in Pennsylvania. And connecting the Armstrong Trail here to Leechburg right into downtown is a real physical both symbol and action for activating outdoor recreation to drive main streets, to drive downtowns forward. And so the work that you did here is putting this theory into practice, and I know that you're seeing returns like that throughout the Commonwealth. So it's really great to be here with you, not only to take a lovely bike ride this morning, but to think about how a piece of recreational infrastructure like this can be used as an economic development, as a business attraction, as a workforce recruitment tool, like the other pieces of public infrastructure, highways, broadband, utilities that we think about throughout the Commonwealth. So congratulations on expanding your economic development tool set with this trail here, and very much looking forward to joining you on it later. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, I have Commissioner Anthony Shea.
Good morning, everyone. I actually have no prepared speech, so I'm winging it here. But as I look out amongst the trail here, everybody's standing right where y'all are at. Believe it or not, about 150 years ago, this is a main thoroughfare for the canal boats. David Leach had set up a dam just a little bit up the road, and it basically drove this whole area's economy. As you can see, the canals. And now we are in 2025, and this same stretch of path is now going to drive the future of our area. The trails bring so much. If you've been around to other places, like going down along the CNO or the Gap Trail, it just brings so much economic development to the communities that they go through. The communities that embrace it just really thrive. I am really thrilled to see everybody here. I'm thrilled that this is coming in. This is the best days for our area ahead of us, not behind us. We are going to move forward, and this is going to drive us there. As this comes online, as we connect up other things, you're going to see probably 500,000 to 1 million people come through the area. Those people all bring wallets. They spend money. It's a good thing. We want them to come here and eat in the restaurants, go to Sprinkles, the gas stations, everything. So it's a very good thing. So with that, congratulations, Chris, for what you've done. You and your team have been amazing. I don't even know what to say. She is so amazing. And God bless everybody here. Thank you.
Hi, and I just want to touch on the amount of money brought into the community, and it's not just by trail use, it's by the actual construction. In the past 7 years, Armstrong Trails, with partners like Armstrong County and Clarion County, have gotten, I think we're up to about $20 million in 7 years. And we hire local contractors, we buy local materials. It's your neighbor that's probably working on our bridge. So we've done a lot of that over the past 7 years. And I talked about at the Kiski Junction opening that we had, I think it was close to $1 million in volunteer time, $1 million in equipment, with $120,000 cash. So I did the calculation for this 4 miles that Armstrong Trails did from the ATI plant west. We had, well, let me see, page 2. Oh, no, I can't find it. Anyways, oh, here it is. We used $400,000 in volunteer time, $350,000 in donated equipment, with $65,000 cash. That's a lot of hard work, and businesses vested in our community. So 4 miles, our all-in was, again, $65,000 cash and $815,000 for 4 miles. So that's pretty impactful, and we're really proud of the work that we do. Pam, who is here somewhere, over there, boots on the ground and tracks on the ground. And Bill Larimer helped out a lot on this 4 miles. Dan Costello, one of my board members. This section was a bit different in that it was so narrow. We couldn't even pass each other, so we had a really bare bones crew, but we really got the work done. So next up, I'm gonna go to Commissioner Pat Fabian. Come on, Pat. Pat is also the president of the Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission. We're very proud of you, Pat.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming out on this beautiful day. I've been a commissioner since 2016, and something I can say that I'm most proud of is the work that's been done on the trail system here in Armstrong County. But that doesn't fall on my shoulders or the Board of Commissioners' shoulders. It really falls on a good orchestra director, and that's really Chris Ziegler. And I say this every time I have an opportunity to talk. I like to brag about Chris as the executive director for Armstrong Trails, because she truly brings this all together. You know, when Chris and I first met back in 2016, she had a vision to really do our part in that Erie to Pittsburgh trail system. And you know, the amount of money that Chris has brought into Armstrong County through Clarion to the south end to Kiski Junction here is about $30 million, $20 million. She really knows how to really pull the partners together, whether that's county officials, that's groups like Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission, the volunteers, local municipalities, property owners. Pulling this all together is not easy, and she's an expert. And we're so proud of you, Chris, and let's give her a round of applause. And I'm not going to reiterate what my co-commissioner Anthony Shea said, or the gentleman before me, but these trails do make an impact on our rivertown communities. And you know, this is just one more step in our quest to complete the our part of the Erie to Pittsburgh Trail. And you know, one last thing we got to do here, and I know our partners at SPC are going to help, and DCNR, and especially Chris has been tasked with, is to get that flyover done from the Kiski Junction Bridge over into Westmoreland County, so we can access even more mileage of our bike trail system. So thank you for coming out, and Chris, greatly appreciate what you and your volunteers do for the trails.
And I say this all the time, it's really teamwork that makes the dream work. You can't do anything by yourself. And so next up with that, we have Mayor Doreen of Leechburg Borough. It does take a village. Thank you. It's with great honor that I stand here and greet you to Leechburg. I believe that once you visit our town, you'll be excited to come back. Those that know me know my uncle, Max Israel. He is smiling ear to ear as he is serving drinks to those in heaven. He has relentlessly tried his best to have a bike trail in this town, a trail on the old train tracks that would go past his house on Canal Street, and he's been trying to do this since 1981. Well, it finally happened. It finally happened, and thank you to Chris for all your hard work. And many, many thanks to the LACDC for all their determination in making this coming true. It is really appreciated by everybody in Leechburg. I hope you enjoy our trail. Thank you. Next up, we have Lou Phillips. He's with the Leechburg Area Community Development Corp. Come on, Lou. He wanted to be first.
I wanted to be first, and I told Chris I had a 20-minute speech, and she made me cut it down to 15 minutes, so hang on. At its inception, Leechburg was a farming community. It became a major stop on the canal and a major transportation hub. It evolved into a steel mill coal mining town in the late 1800s through the 20th century. It's no longer a steel mill coal mining town. Leechburg, and this Leechburg area is in transition, like so many towns in western Pennsylvania. So the question is, can we guide that transition? In December of 2019, we established the Leechburg Area Community Development Corporation as a 501c3 corporation. Its mission, and I keep having trouble saying, assist the evolution of Leechburg area so it can reach its greatest potential. It's going to evolve. Sorry. It's going to evolve, but can we guide that evolution? Since the beginning, we've raised $260,000 from private individuals, which enabled us to move forward the projects in 2 municipal parks. And we did 2 major projects at the Leechburg Pool. And that money enabled us to acquire the First National Bank building in Leechburg and convert it into a flexible office space and as a community center. This trail was our next project. We did the piece from the West Leechburg Mill through town, what you're standing on, out to the walking bridge. And if you haven't been to the walking bridge, make sure you go to the walking bridge. It's a neat bridge to see. We began the planning process in the trail just 2 years ago. At a time we held public meetings, designed the trail, acquired right-of-ways, and established funding, engaged a contractor, and completed construction last November. We believe that this project will be positive for the community, as you've heard. It will give the residents access to a large area of trails, and it will bring people to Leechburg to experience the Leechburg area as we have. We want to thank Laura Hawkins, the Greenway Coordinator for the Allegheny Ridge Corporation, for her help with the planning process and during the construction phase of the project. She also had to help us gain funding. We want to extend a thank you to the R.K. Mellon Foundation, which granted us $100,000, and the Colcom Corporation gave us $25,000. Along with the $60,000 from an individual donor, we were able to fast track this mile of trail from the West Leechburg Bridge to the walking bridge in less than 2 years. We want to thank the Marconi Club and Leechburg Borough for giving us access through their properties for the trail. We want to thank Skip Laratonda, who donated the property to the northern end of the trail through his property. We especially want to thank the board members, my board members, especially Jay Pizzato, or Jay Rupert, Larry Boehm, and Brian Cush for their help during the construction phase of the project. I also want to thank Chris Ziegler, like everyone thanks Chris Ziegler, for her help during the project. I want to extend the trail. This summer, we're going to extend the trail across the walking bridge into Hyde Park to the boat ramp in Hyde Park. And we'll be in support of extending the trail from Leechburg to Apollo to connect with the Roaring Run Trail. Thank you all for coming, and hope to see you frequently in the future.
Corporation is next. I had to run because I'm cold. Are you with us? Are you still with us? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm the caboose, I think. Okay, I'm not. Never mind. So I'm here just to mention a little bit about Pennsylvania's heritage areas, because that's why I'm involved with these projects, and that's what we sort of brought to the table. Pennsylvania has, I think, 12 heritage areas organized under the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, and they're exactly what they sound like. They are corridors or areas that celebrate, develop, and recognize the historic assets associated with a specific region. For example, there's an oil heritage area, there's a lumber heritage area, there's a rivers of steel heritage area, of which parts of the Kiski Valley are part, and there's an Allegheny Ridge heritage area, which is managed by Allegheny Ridge Corporation. And Allegheny Ridge Corporation's signature initiative is this Pittsburgh to Harrisburg Mainline Canal Greenway. And I am a Greenway coordinator on that Greenway, and we get to work with local partners that help enhance and develop what we call Greenway assets. So environmental stewardship, outdoor recreation, heritage interpretation, and tying all of those things into community revitalization. A couple of years ago, the heritage areas got a bump in funding, and part of that included about $65,000 toward what was called an implementation project. And I'm not used to Chris Ziegler needing anything. I mean, I think that's a given. But just on a whim, I think I sent her a message saying something like, I know this probably is silly and you don't need anything, but could you use $65,000 for anything in the Greenway? And so we were able to put that money toward the extension from Shenley down to Leechburg. And then I was able to work with, as Lou said, the Development Corporation to secure the money for the extension in through town. In 2012, we did a Kiski Valley Greenway plan. From that plan came things like the Stone Arch Gateway signs that you see now in all of the Kiski Valley communities. We did public art. We built kiosks at all the river access points, and created and installed Rivertown maps to direct people from the river into the communities, points of interest, businesses and services. But one of the projects in that plan was this extension between Freeport and Leechburg. And we actually did not invest a whole lot of time in that plan, because in that part of the plan, because that's never going to happen. That never, never, never. But something happens in Chris Ziegler's mind when she hears the word never, and she doesn't hear the word. It's something else happens in there. She hears like now or something. So this was the Neverland that you're standing on now. So congratulations to all you guys for what you've done, and just to Chris and to everybody on the Development Corporation, thank you so much for being such great partners to work with, and thank you for what you do for your communities. I wanted to be at the booth.
I do want to acknowledge from Senator Pittman's office, we have Holly Lynn over there. And then we have Taylor from Abby Major's office. I always put an S on there. And before the caboose does come, because I skipped them, I do want to thank my board members. We have Joel Warren, Dan Costella, raise your hands, people. Mindy Knappenberger, Rich Tallis, Brett McClinton, I don't think is here. Larry Bain. Larry, I spelled your name wrong on here, so say it right. Kevin Robinson, Holly Laird, Maria Soares, and we have two Director Emeritus, Dave Beal and Lee Caleri. I think they've been here since the very beginning, and I don't know, did you ever think this was going to happen? It was truly their vision decades ago that we made become a reality. So again, teamwork makes the dream work. We're all part of a team. Next up, Joel Warren. He's my chairperson of the board of directors.
Thanks, Chris. Just like to thank you for the vision and orchestrating these big projects. Thank everybody for coming out today. I know it's a little chilly and it was threatening rain, but I think this is a really exciting connection that is opening today. I'd like to thank Leechburg Development Corp for making this possible, the connection into town, and everybody from Leechburg now has a connection to a vast trail network. It just because of this 5 miles from here to Shenley. When Chris first announced that the new section of trail was rolled and was suitable for riding bikes on, I jumped on my bike at my house in Manorville and rode to Leechburg for lunch, and that's kind of what it's all about, and I'm pretty happy that we finally got to that point. I knew it was coming eventually, but so for everybody in the Leechburg area, now you get out there and enjoy the trails, and everybody else that's a trail user can now come into Leechburg. It's now a new destination. There's restaurants, as everybody else mentioned, there's restaurants, coffee shops, sprinkles, there's so many resources now available to the trail users that this could be a destination, a place for people to stop while they're traveling along the trail. So I'd just like to thank all of the volunteers, all the contractors, all the funding sources, everybody that came together to make this day possible, to make Leechburg available to the trail users. And I'd like to thank all the businesses in Leechburg for being trail friendly and offering their services to the folks that'll be coming into town now. And I hope that everybody comes and spends their dollars here. I hope that the businesses see an influx of traffic from the trail. And so just thank everybody for coming out, and just like to welcome you to Leechburg, the newest trail town.
Thanks, Joel. And normally, if you've been to one of our parties, we usually have walking tacos, and we're usually in the middle of nowhere. But we purposely decided not to do walking tacos or a snack today because Go Donuts has a really good donut today. Frankie's on 2nd is offering 15% off, and National Public House is also doing a special, and their beet salad is really good. So we encourage all of you to go into town for something today. And I do want to mention thank you to my family. Like, this is not a 9-to-5 job. It's wake up in the middle of the night and I have to email myself and the light on my phone comes on. Like, it's a lot of work, but they're here and they're cold too. So everybody that spoke, if you can come up to the ribbon, we're going to do the ribbon cutting, and we're ahead of schedule because I'm freezing, and I think everybody else too. Armstrong Trails, we have sweatshirts for sale, t-shirts for sale. There's some free tchotchkes over there. The Historical Society, and if you're interested in Master Naturalist Wildflower Walk, they have a table over there if you'd meet over there. Otherwise, go into town, go for a ride. And it's not just about getting to Shenley, it's not about just getting to Fort City or Katanning or East Brady. You can go the whole way to Brookville in Jefferson County on a trail, a non-motorized trail over 100 miles. So please do that. Great, thank you. We're gonna cut the ribbon. Yay! We'll stand on this side. If you want to see and go over to the other side. Here, where is you guys closer? Hey, Lee Cleary.
Yes, he's the one who's Chris, can you guys get closer? That's what I said earlier.
Practice scissor safety.
All right, everybody. 1, 2, 3, let's ride. Well, mine don't work.
All right, let's ride. Hey, Laura.
Hello. This is my maiden ride on the Leechburg Towpath, and this trail connects Leechburg to the community of Shenley. And there's Route 66, beautiful arch bridge, beautiful four-square home. So let's get ready to ride. Woo! Another beautiful metal truss bridge, and we want to thank Chris Ziegler for all the hard work that she does. She makes these trails a reality. And like they all said, it brings commerce to the area. Small businesses profit, the residents profit because they're able to get fresh air and exercise. And these rails to trails bring millions of dollars into communities. So we are very grateful for the opportunities. And for the first quarter mile from Leechburg Riverfront Park, it is a little bit of a road ride, but don't worry, it's not a heavily traveled street. Still, you want to use caution. And this looks like it was a former road at one time. See the Jersey barriers, and there's a factory along the Kiski. Got some industry. A really cool looking water tower. So technically you can ride from Brookville, PA to Leechburg. About a 100-mile journey. So that would make like a great 2-3 night trip. Here's a beautiful waterfall. kind of looks like Alpha Pass Falls at McConnell's Mills. Really cool. There's so many cool things to see along rails to trails. That is really cool. Looks like an electric box. I don't know if it's still in use, but whenever you see power lines, always assume that they are live. So do not be exploring that box. Yield sign and another waterfall. And there are signs along here that say private property, no dumping, so obey the signs. Here, there's a fork in the trail, so you want to go to the far left. Right now there's a strong wind coming upriver. Okay, across the Kiski River are live railroad tracks. Stay off them. Wind's coming up the river, so it's a really difficult pedal. So after the paved part, the trail turns into crushed limestone. And just FYI, no trespassing past the fence. There's barbed wire, so do not attempt it. So we want to be good stewards to our neighbors. Today's my lucky day. I get to view a train. I'm like a little kid when it comes to trains. Here's a better view. Nice clearing here. And I'm like a little kid when I see a train. So exciting. I love the sound of the clickety-clack and the wheels along the rails. And this train's a long one. There's Thomas and his friends. My son loved Thomas the Train whenever he was little. Him and his cousin would play for hours. And that's the end. No caboose. Where's the caboose? In this section, you do get some nice views of the Kiski River. See some purple. I love this time of year when everything's blooming. It's a shame that the buds can't stay like this for a little bit longer. That's how I feel about fall foliage too. Too bad I couldn't stay a little bit longer. And I have azalea bushes in my front yard. And it's a shame they don't last throughout the summer because they are so pretty. Here's another beautiful scene. Because the trail is so new, there are no benches or mile markers yet. And foliage is greening up along the trail. And the Kiski River flows into the Allegheny River. And it's very quiet. There are no major roads nearby. So all you hear is the sound of nature, and on a day like today, the sound of the wind. Here I am at the totem pole in Shenley. Here has all the trails emerging: Erie to Pittsburgh Trail, Treadway Trail, and Butler Freeport Trail. Well, end of the line. I am on the Kiski River Bridge. This opened up April 1st, 2024. And I was there for the grand opening, so be sure to check out that video. This is where the Kiski River flows into the mighty Allegheny. Straight ahead is Lock and Dam number 5 or number 6. Okay, number 5 is in Cantanning, so this might be 6 or 7. I'll find out. I don't feel like getting my map out now. And that house on top of the hill has a beautiful view. This is the end of the Armstrong Trail. One day they will build a flyover bridge over the tracks. Till then, do not trespass. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but they mean no trespassing, because you are trespassing on railroad property, and that is an active line. And I have seen trains utilize it. I saw one last September whenever I rode the Treadway Trail. So do not trespass. One day there will be a flyover bridge. Beautiful view of the Kiski and the campground. So if you're staying at the campground, you can hop on your bike and ride the 4 miles to Leechburg. You can pick up a few things at Sprinkles or have lunch or dinner. So that concludes my journey. I'm in the village of Shenley, and now I'm going to ride the 4.5 miles back to Leechburg. I sure hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you for watching, and like and share away, because we want to get the word out about Rails to Trails. So when you like a video, that gets the video out and gets more people interested, and that means more donations for Rails to Trails. And there's benefits all around. Get economical, mental health, and physical. Again, thank you for watching.